everyone! I hope you're doing okay. I am still sorry in advance about the audio. The mic is still broken and I'm still trying to fix it, but I do have videos that I need to rest my brain. I need to put out in December before it ends, so I just gotta do it how it is. So I'm sorry if you can hear any miscellaneous stuff in the background. My apologies, my ladies. So we have done and checked out, wow, TikTok hype books that I've read this year and actually loved. I also shared the worst books that I've read in 2023. So I wanted to share with you my top 10 books of 2023. Currently, I am at 166, I think. So there's a lot to pick from, and picking 10 was very difficult because I was generous this year and I gave a lot of 5 stars and a lot of 4 stars and shit. So I read a lot of stuff that I liked, a lot of stuff that tickled my... However, I tried my best to pick the top. I tried my best to pick, oh god. I tried my best to I tried my best to pick the top 10. And I'm gonna share them with you. The first one was something I didn't expect at all, and it is I Am a Cat by Natsume Sasuke. It's the stupidest premise. I loved it, and like I was looking at it in my like some of the picks that can be in my top 10, and I was like, you're gonna have to be in there, won't you? And it was like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm weird. I was like, it's fine, come over, baby, it's fine now. So now it's in the list. It is a view of 1904 Japanese middle-class societies from the view of a cat. You are in the head of a cat, like looking and watching these people live their lives daily, and that is all. But it was so interesting. I mean, to me at least, I found it goddamn fascinating and extremely relatable. I know how, I don't know either, but I just found it relatable, and I found it that it's something that is still, I don't want to say happening, but it's something that you can read any time in history, at least for now, and still find something relatable in it. Just to see how robotic life is, how robotic we are. I really liked it. Plus it was, I don't know, it was subversive in a acerbic way. It was witty, it was funny. I ended up really enjoying it. Death is Hard Work by Khalid Khalifa. Oh lord, this one touched me deeply. Well, I mean, stop. This one really like pulled a string in my heart that I don't think can be repaired. I don't know about translations. I've read it in Arabic. So I don't know if the translations translate the feelings or not, but if you are able to read it in the first language, I just do it. It was an incredible book. It basically is following siblings with a cadaver in the car, trying to take it from one state to another to like honor their last wishes and bury it in their hometown. And you are following them during that struggle of trying to get across to the border, and then across the border, and then, you know, to where they actually need to bury the body. It just makes you think of the beautiful things in life and why you shouldn't miss them. Basically, I really enjoyed this. The progression I liked a lot. It was so simple but unique in its own way. I don't know, like I have nothing negative to say about the book. Next one, and the first book that made sci-fi enjoyable. And I mean like basic sci-fi, not ghosts and zombies sci-fi, because that's another book that we're also gonna talk about. Intercept with TJ Pine, whatever the heck. Holy goddamn shit, bitch, what the heck? This was a thriller, a sci-fi thriller. It was so freaking good. Basically, it follows a dude at work, like he works for the government, and they do some shady shit, right? That I enjoyed vehemently. I enjoyed reading about the shady stuff vehemently. And then one day his daughter starts seeing this woman appearing to her, and then we're gonna realize what that has to do with his work. It was so fun. I finished it so fast, and I was so surprised that I liked a sci-fi thing so much, and it did not confuse my smooth little brain at all. God, I jabbed my jaws about this goddamn author, but I had to pick a book. Eric LaRocca, You've Lost a Lot of Blood. I loved it so much. It follows a girl who is a video game programmer, and she gets like a huge opportunity to work for this huge video game creator. And then when she goes there, it's like shit starts getting weird really quickly. And I like the journey. I loved getting weird with it. It also has a different POV from a serial killer that I loved a lot. I basically really enjoyed getting into the head of the serial killer and seeing, I don't know, the author's interpretation of a life ender like that. Plus, Eric LaRocca's writing is something that I love like a lot. It's dear to me. Let's just keep going with thrillers and talk about Hyde by Kirsten White. This was such an unexpected book. I don't even remember how I got the book. I don't know, but I know it was such an unexpected book, an unexpected read. I like this so much. I love conspiracy theories. I love like the Illuminati goddamn theories, stuff like that. And this was that, but like not on crack. On something, but not like as much as crack. I don't know. This was that on something. Literally, it was so fun. It was so fun. I mean, yes, there are some negatives, but I don't really care. They're like got so overshadowed by the good thing that I couldn't even take away points. It's 5 stars. I could not even take away points because they were so overshadowed. Like, the only negatives that I can think about is that there were so many characters. There were like, I don't know, like 17 different characters, 14 players. There's a game, 14 players, and then I don't know, the people responsible for the players and stuff like that. There's a lot of characters and we don't really dive into each and one of them. And you feel like if there were like less characters, then it would have been a bit better character-wise, but I don't really give a fuck about it. I mean, it was so overshadowed and I don't really think about it like that. There's a game, so people are like targeting the people that are like so low in societies and then offering them a game, a hide and seek game. They take them to this abandoned like theme park and they offer them, I think, $50,000 or something like that. But then each day 2 players are off and you don't know at first how, but then it starts moving so fast and I really enjoyed the ride. Now we are at the top 5. The rest of them were not in any particular order. I was just naming stuff off the list, but now we are in the top 5. So we have The Book Thief, one of the most beautiful books that I've read in my life. I loved it so much. It was like criminal not to add it into the top 10 list. Yeah. I got attached to the story and every character in ways that I really did not think I would. Not that I couldn't, I obviously can, but I would get attached to these characters because it's not a subject that is like, oh my gosh, so relatable to me. It is not at all. It's like the opposite of relatable, but I got attached to every goddamn thing. The layout of the book is so beautiful and wholesome in a way that makes you kind of want to cry. Max is a character that I still think about, even though I read the book months and months ago, but it's still something that, you know, has a special place. Then we have American Gods by Neil Gaiman. I sat here and jabbed my jaws about American Gods, and I will do it again pleasurably and happily and with all of my heart yet again. Neil Gaiman is my favorite author for a reason. The book was genius. I tried to watch the show later. After I finished the book, I tried to watch the show. Bitch, it does not compare. But because I had the book to compare it, Jesus. But because I had the book to compare it with, it doesn't match at all. I mean, just every aspect is done to perfection in my opinion. The story is very well researched. Every aspect of it, every mythology or Norse mythology type of information it is very well researched, and it is Neil Gaiman, so what the heck else would you expect? The progress of the characters I liked a lot. The little side stories we got, I loved, like adamantly, I loved them a lot. It's just I love it, dog. Okay, so these are the top 3. I know the top 1 for me, obviously, but I don't know how to pick the other 2. It's not in an order, okay? I'm reassuring myself by telling myself that it's not in an order. Let's just go for it. Alumni. I loved this book so much. I have Gemina, just got it recently, and I cannot wait to get into it. I am currently in the middle of 3 books or something, but I starting 2024, I'm starting the goddamn year with Gemini because I know I need something positive to start off the year. Like I want to start with a bang, so that's gonna be it for me. Part alumni dog. Remember when I just told you that there's another book that like is literally changed my mind on sci-fi? This is it. This is the one, my man. Listen, fucking zombies in space and like stuff happening and pew pew, like laser guns and shit, and spaceships and quarantine type and disease. That's not my thing. That is not what I like to read about. This book has all of that. The zombies check, the COVID type quarantine check, the everything, a battle in space. It changed my mind. I loved every aspect of it. The layout of the book itself is so interactive, and I think a friend of mine just told me that that's why I liked Alumni so much. We were talking about you know, spectrum stuff and yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's very interactive. I really enjoyed that book. Like you'll be reading and then you just be like holding the book in different stuff in different like sides and shit to be able to read what it says. So it's interactive. It doesn't bore you out, which is so important to me at least, and I know to a lot of other people. So if that's something you're looking for, like an interactive book that works with ADHD, that works with autism, it works. I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to get back into the universe. Now, the top 2. We have... No, don't say the top 2. It's not the top 2. It's not in an order. We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson. This book I found so relatable in a way that I do not think like a 1920 book can be relatable. Oh my god, was it good. It was so good, and everyone and their mothers loves about it, but then I just recently discovered it and read it and loved it. It is now one of my comfort books, as it follows the tale of 2 sisters that live in a castle generation after generation. It was like a huge murder trial, and one of the sisters gets charged with it, and then the charges drop, like everyone ostracizes them. It's something that a lot of people can relate to in ways that you don't think you will relate to something like this. But if you find like certain meanings and shit, like if you read under the line, you will get related, you will feel relatable, you will relate to it. Goddamn, you will relate to it. And I loved it so much. Plus it was just fun. It felt like an overbearing feeling reading the book, especially by the end of it, where so many things were happening. I really liked it. The number 1 spot, the best book that I've read in 2023, and probably for a lot of incoming years and going years and stuff like that. A Little Life. I know I added this in the most TikTok hype books, but I cannot help it. This is the best book that I've read in 2023. This is my number 1 spot. Jude St. Francis. My lord, I will slay dragons. Actually, I wouldn't slay dragons because I would want them to like me. I would slay people though. Ew. For him. I love him a lot. I mean, what's there to say about A Little Life, dog? It's just... can cry. There are some honorable mentions that didn't make it to the list, but I wanted them in the list so badly. But there's just so much. There's so many books. Queens of Moirai by Rhiannon Hargaden. I loved this one so much, and it physically aches me that I cannot put it into the list because of the so many other books that I need to include in the list. But yeah, I love this one so much. If you like Greek mythology, if you like mythos, if you like mythology in general, this was so good, and it follows the 3 fates, which is not something that we see often. Like we usually see the same goddamn 2 shit, like the Persephone and the Hades and the Zeus and stuff over and over again. So I really enjoyed this one. The Atlas 6 I recently just read, and I will soon talk to you about it. Tender is the Flesh, a very gruesome and vile book, but I really enjoyed it, and I would have added it to the list because of how subversive it is. I am a George Orwell fan, and this has the feel of George Orwell that I just I like a lot. The Kind Worth Killing. I talked about this book when I read it, and I still will talk about it happily. I loved it so much. It was so out of the blue, it was impromptu, and I ended up really enjoying it. It was very, very fun. And the last one, one of the best books that I've read, because I added it in the hyped books, I didn't just, you know, want to add it back here. She says, after adding a little life everywhere, I will add a little life everywhere, don't judge me. The Priority of the Orange Tree. So these are just like some mentionables, honorable mentions that are ought to be like they're there. They hold the special places in me that I read this year. Yeah, Little Life though, that's my number one spot, dog. That's it. That's my number one. That's my main hoe. Yeah, that's my main hoe. The other ones are all side hoes. They do have like different levels of affection from me, but Little Life is my main hoe. Yeah, the side hoe, the main side hoe is Prior of the Orange Tree. But Little Life is the main hoe, like the wifey type hoe, like the dude I'm going to marry type hoe. I made it so weird. Oh, please don't hesitate to tell me if you read any of these books and if you like them, or what has been your favorite, you know, just pick one. What has been your ultimate favorite book that you've read this year? I want to say so far because the year is over. That you've read this year. Okay, just fucking pick one. Other than that though, thank you so much for watching. I love you and I'm gonna see you next video.